Hello and welcome or welcome back to So Says Kez. My name is Kerry Ann and I am Kez and I say things. Now, disclaimers at the front, these are just my thoughts and opinions, hence the name of the channel. And I speak on behalf of nobody else, and also I swear. Now, I went out the night before last and I thought I'd tell you how it went. I did a video, I think it was on the video about the Maccabi Tel Aviv game, that I said that I was going out, but I didn't want to tell you where I was going in case somebody followed me and killed me, right? I understand I'm a contentious little shit. Oh, other disclaimer. I don't script what I do, and I tend to flit about. I don't, have a normal person's brain. So it might seem a bit weird if this is your first time here. It might seem a bit weird, but I usually get to my point eventually. But fuck knows where we're going. It's an adventure for both you and me. I knew that I wanted to do a video on my night out Friday night, and so that's where we're going. All right. So I didn't, because I go everywhere on my own as a rule. I'm not because I think, well, for a start off, I've got no mates, right? I am a hermit. I'm your archetypal hermit. And, I don't have friends. I do have friends, but I not, I've not got a bezie or whatever, where you'd usually go, and obviously I don't speak to my daughter. So it's I don't have anybody that I could go oh, do you want to come see a gig with me? And I would rather go on my own anyway, because then that you could do whatever you want the whole time that you're there. It's very selfish of me. But if you go with somebody else, if they want to go for something to eat, you've got to go for something to eat. If they want to go home, you've got to go home. You know what I mean? That it's just too much. I can't. It's too much. I just like to fly by the seat of my pants. It's just me. I'm sorry. And obviously it's Leicester, and a lot of my work recently has been centred around the Unstoppable March of Islam, and I live in Leicester. So it's not really the best. I mean, I know, I get 20 views, 30 and outside on my videos, but you never do know if one of them is mate, she's going up to the fucking firebug in Leicester on her fucking own. Do you fancy a night out, mate? Let's shut her the fuck up before she gets going. That kind of thing. It's just better to be safe than sorry when you're going out on your own, to not announce where you're going to be, don't you think? Especially in today's society, with the way that the UK is going and women not being safe on the streets. Now we did, so this is just going to be, I'm going to come up with all sorts of points throughout the night. But I'll just mention this one now, as we're on about men on a night out. There was this young, I want to say he was Indian. If I had to guess a nationality, I'd say he was Indian. But oh my God, his bum cheeks. Looked like somebody had cut a football in half and put it down his pants, you know what I mean? So I'm there, and he's there with his they're all young, they're all in their 20s or something, these lads. And I'm stood outside, I'm waiting for my Uber, and no, it weren't. When, I don't know, but I was stood outside the pub, and I'm like, hot dang, Christian Bale in fucking American Psycho. I'm like, ooh, hello. All of this business. His mates were like, mate, you're in. They're like, no, don't worry about it. He'll shag out. I'm like, I fucking won't. I'm admiring a thing of beauty. He was built. He works out. He obviously works out. And I was appreciating a thing of beauty, but they would just assumed I want to shag him. But I think if I'd have wanted to shag him, I was in. a year old. But yeah, so like we're totally safe. But I did put myself in a bit of danger near the end of the night, which technically I could have been in danger at the end of the night. As it turns out, me and the gob managed to, it was all right. But we'll get to that in a bit. That's the Uber home. That's like, I am always, do not get me drunk and stick me in an Uber in Leicester, because most of them are Muslim and I will ask questions. Just a teaser. So yeah, I went to a pub in Leicester called Firebug, and I went to see a gig of Tom Hingley, and literally the shit that has been going through my head since of no, like screaming thoughts, just screaming through my head. Like the time I called him fucking Tim when he was on stage. I went, Tom, where did Tim come from? Shame. Like literally that has just been screeching, bouncing off the fucking walls. Tim, what am I doing? But yeah, I went to literally, but it's like, is it Hingley? Do you pronounce the G? I never asked him. And I was talking to him all night, like, because it was a supremely poor turnout, which happens in Leicester. The Magic Keys have stopped coming back to Leicester because it's so shit. I assume so. And I miss Jasper. But yeah, you've probably never heard of them. I do apologise, but they're cracking. Like Jasper Stainthorpe ex then Jericho. Like, amazing man. And so is Tom Hingley. And I wanted to meet him my whole life. Well, since Top of the Pops, right? So the first time I went, and I've been in the audience for Top of the Pops 5 times, and one time the Inspiral Carpets was on there, and basically I remember watching him, and I tried to get a smile out of him, and he was mean and moody. That's the best way to describe it. The most beautiful fucking brown leather coat. With like metal toggles on and shit. Beautiful coat. But it was like really mean and moody. I didn't see him smile like at all. And I smile a lot. You'd think we won't get on, wouldn't you? We sat there Friday night because like the turnout was poor. So I got an evening with Tom Hingley. Or Hingley. I don't know. Why didn't I ask him? I had him right there all evening and I didn't fucking ask him. Twat. But I called him fucking Tim, so they like, oh God, what did I do? There's something else as well that I'm like, but that is the main thing that's screaming around my head. Why did you do that? Where the fuck did it come? Because I called him Tom and called him fucking Tim, then went back to Tom. What the fuck? Where did Tim come from? I've got a huge branch with like thorny bits on it. I just keep fucking belting myself in the shower. I'll never live it down in my own head. Tell you another thing that I did. That I'm like, I really hope the dude didn't notice. I really hope that he didn't notice. He'd done his gig and everything, and like I'd met this lovely chap from Los Angeles who was also there on his own on a tour of England, right? And this is the freaky thing. He goes back on the 22nd of November, right? And he's just here to just go to a shit ton of gigs. Like literally the patience on his wife. But like, so we got chatting, and then at the end of the night, after the gig, we sat there having a beer, and they're like sat opposite me, and they're chatting and they're talking music things, and I can't be in that level of conversation because I don't understand. No, do you know what I mean? It's like when I go to bounce core and whatever, it's like, like I listen to music. I'm like, this is what I like, but I don't go any further than that. I don't go any further than that on anything. Do you know what I mean? I float, remember? If you saw the last one or the one before that. Anyways, so I've just always had that massive crush on Tom Hingley, right? Because he's got a speech impediment. And I'm a fucker for a speech impediment. My last husband was with him for 9 years, my longest relationship in my life. He had a short tongue, and I think Tom Hingley's got a long tongue. And all I remember while these two guys are having this manly music conversation, that I'm sitting there and their words, they are exchanging words to me. I can hear words, that's it. But I can remember Tom Hingley's mouth, right, in close up, in zoom, and I'm just sitting there just watching him speak, and that's all I can see. It's like fills up my whole face, my whole head, like I'd zoomed in on his mouth, and I'm just sitting there just fascinated, just absolutely fascinated by his speech impediment. And so I feel like, like people have bucket list things. And I've sat and watched that guy speak, and literally my bucket list ticked off, mate. That's onward. Heard his voice as well. Like, the man's got an amazing voice. If you've not seen him sing, please go see him sing. He is amazing. It's it's a really entertaining show. But yeah, so that's another thing. So like, he's probably got a memory of just chatting to Jer and thinking, what the fucking hell is she doing? Because like, why can I remember? I can remember this bit of his mouth. I can remember this bit in the whole of my head. So why had I just gone up like? Why can't I remember the rest of the room or anything? Oh, good God. Why do I drink? So at the beginning, right, and I've got to say this, right, and I hope he won't mind me telling you this, because, like, I got 2 fucking compliments off the guy that I am going to take away. I'm going to take away the shame of calling him fucking Tim for the rest of my life, right? And I'm going to remember that lisp, like, literally for the rest of my life. But we had at the beginning, before he went on stage, he had some dinner. So I sat with him while he had his dinner, and we had an intellectual conversation. And that guy is an intellectual. That guy is a supremely intelligent man, like, a huge range of knowledge. Now, if you've been here before, you will know that I don't do knowledge. The whole purpose of the experiment that I've been on since the creation of this channel, the whole point is that I don't use my brain how other people use their brains. Now, I'm the only person that I've ever met who does this. So it's difficult to explain that to somebody and have them understand. So, like, but I held my own with an intellectual, and I'm really quite proud of myself. But first compliment wasn't even a compliment. It was just a factual thing. A huge compliment to me. I'm taking it to my grave. Right. So we're talking, and he's he knows all of this stuff about books and everything. And we're talking quantum physics, as you do. We're talking religion, politics. It was a lovely conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally amazing man. Couldn't keep up, but he was suggesting that I read this particular book, and I have written down the name of the book. And once I've financially I'm like Temu, so shop like a billionaire. When I go out like a billionaire. Thankfully, the manager of the thing had given Tom some free drinks, and he gave 2 to me, bless him. He'd given him 5 free drinks, and he gave me 2. Like, bless his little heart. Like, huge thanks. But when I'd sat down with this Jeff fella, he got an empty glass in front of him. So, and I needed a drink, right? So I'm like, what can I get you? At 15 fucking quid for 2 drinks. Felt my heart just fucking drop out my arsehole. What the fucking hell? Like, literally, so when I financially recovered, you know what I mean? I've not borrowed any money. I've not gone into the red or anything. But, like, literally, I spent a lot of money. But well, you can see why the pubs are going fucking down. But they've made it so that they're like, literally, good on them. And the Firebug is a cracking pub. Please go in there. Give them your business. Because lovely bar staff, lovely management, totally deserve to stay open. Do you know what I mean? Clientele's a bit young. Like, literally, I just felt like Granny Gubkin sat there. I'm like, I'll just fucking get a shovel and start digging now, basically. Like, literally, the boys hadn't even started shaving yet. Do you know what I mean? I'm sitting there thinking, but it's cool because I've been there, I've done that, do you know what I mean? And I'm happy now to watch the next generations go and do the things that I did, do you know what I mean? But I'm happy to go home and get in bed. Yeah, mate. Yeah, so compliment, right? So we're talking about this book. Why did I go on about it? Maybe because I bought a book. But I don't know. Anyway, so he suggested that I read this book about this bloke who's talking about quantum physics, and I'm like, I know I won't be able to understand this fucking thing. I know I won't. And also, you know, I that's not how I work. Do you know what I mean? Like, the whole point, you know, like of the experiment is that I get my information from source. And then occasionally I have gone, like when I read the works of C.W. Ledbetter, for example, which I didn't even read all of. And like I said, I've not even read all the tablets of Thoth the Atlantean, like, literally. And that is pretty much where I found my work. But you don't need to. You know, very Henry Ford about it, I am. Anyway, so he's saying, like, oh, you know, like, and all this quantum physics thing and going on about the Higgs boson and everything. And I'm like, right, okay, yeah, I don't know. And I said, well, here's what I think, right? I thought I'll tell him how I understand this, right? So I got my drink and I said, well, this is what I believe about, like, you know, like, we're all part of one huge energy soup, resonates at different frequencies, making liquids, solids, gases, blah, 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 blah. And he just went, that's what it says in this book. And I'm like, that is all I need to know. I do not need to read the book. All I need to know is that the information that I am getting from source is right. And of course it is, because there's only one truth to come down to. You can own that, and literally that is, my work is just simple like that. You know, like, I make my brain and the contents thereof as simple as possible. Because, and then, like, literally, he gave me another bloody compliment as well. A compliment somebody else has given me in my past, another famous person has given me in the past. I was telling him about, I can't remember how we got onto this conversation. Me with two fucking fully grown married men. I'm there talking about me fucking piss flaps, isn't it? Right? I don't know what they were saying, but I'm like, yeah, and nobody tells you that you lose your fucking piss flaps in menopause. That's it. I think I'd said something about menopause. And I'm going on one of my tirades. I've done a video on my piss flaps, if anybody ever wants to go. It's not an OnlyFans thing. I'm literally just talking about my piss flaps. I haven't got any. They don't tell you. Why don't they tell you? Why did ma'am? Seriously, woman. Anyway, so I'm sitting there giving this fucking tirade, like, you know, tell your women, go and check the piss flaps, go home and tell your wives. And Tom, bless him, I think he won't be minding if I call him Tom now. He said to me, like, you could go on stage with that routine. And literally, yeah, that's the second person in my life that said I should be a comedian. The first being Bill Maynard, who said when I was in Miss Loughborough Echo, the competition, like the night job, being interviewed, and I came off stage and he was one of the judges, and apparently he'd spat his drink out. And when he went on stage to do his comedy routine, he said, like, oh, I just want to say one of the girls, I won't mention her, yeah, well, Kerry-Anne Howard. He said, I just think that she's like one of the most naturally funny people I've ever seen, and she'd be wasted if she didn't go on the stage. And literally, I didn't go on the stage. It's not what I'm meant to do. Do you know what I mean? It's not what I'm meant to do. But if I'm funny, that's cracking, because that will help what I am here to do settle a bit easier. Do you know what I mean? You know, because we've got to have the occasional laugh. Do you know what I mean? We've got to have the occasional laugh, especially with, you know, at the minute where everything that's going on is so fucking depressing. So I'm just going to go to the journey home. So, like, literally spent the evening with Tom and Jeff, a thorn between two roses, and had the most amazing night. Met some lovely people, and it was, you know, like it was amazing. And I'm never going out again now. Well, I'm going to see with my son and my ex, going to see at some point Predator Badlands, but when I'm financially recovered from that, and yeah. And also when I financially recover from that, I might buy this book, but I don't. You know, like it's this sort of like a difference of people, but we got along just fine. He's very much like, people need to read, and I am very much like that, you know, like avid reader, huge book collection, like literally, if anybody don't say it, Kerry-Anne, there's a lot of paper in my house, let's put it that way. Awful lot of books, hundreds in a tiny but I go through phases of when I'm reading or not. But as for textbooks, it's like, you know, like I have a David Icke book I've read, I think the first chapter, maybe the first two. I have a Zechariah Sitchin book, of which I've read enough to know, yes, I'm on the right path. But it's very important to me that where I get my information from, because then I know I'm right, because I know that the person, the entity giving me the information, is giving me that because it wants me to have that. Do you know what I mean? It wants me to have the correct information. And, you know, occasionally you get little, you know, like, ask questions and listen out for the answers, because the universe wants to teach us all. Do you know what I mean? And it knows the universe, which is what I consider to be God, like everything, the huge universal energy that we are all a part of, wants all of us to succeed, right? That's why them bastards, put in so much effort to keep us negative, to keep us hating each other, to keep us depressed, to keep us down, because we are fighting a spiritual war, and they have been winning for fucking ever because of the tools that they have at their disposal, one of which being religion, a huge one being religion. And they've got like Judaism, Christianity, Islam, with caveats that ensure that they're always at war. So good people who attach themselves to a god because they have love in their heart, and then that love is bastardized and used to fucking separate them. As I've said on a video before, but I'll say it again in case you're not seeing it, because you're probably not. The minute that you choose a religion, you take yourself out of what God is, because God, the universe, is everything, and we are all equal shares of that energy, right? All of us. We're just different people, but we're all part of the same thing. And the second that you choose a religion, you remove yourself from that and put yourself in a pigeonhole. Do you know what I mean? I really hope you know what I mean. I've got to stop saying, do you know what I mean? It pissed myself off. Anyway, so let's just get to because We've been going nearly half an hour again. So the end of the night, so somebody got pissed. Well, somebody got 2 free drinks. Oh, and this is the other thing that I'm mortifyingly embarrassed about, right? And literally, Jeff and Tom probably have more that they could fucking hell, she embarrassed herself there. But these are the 3 for me. It's the staring at his fucking mouth while he's talking. The Tim, I'm never still screeching around, bouncing off the fucking tip top. Fuck. This is what you get when you don't. I've forgotten that one. It'll probably come back to me. But yeah, did 3 embarrassing things. Yeah, that's it. The drinks. So like, Tom and Jeff had just been to the bar, and Tom had got the chip in his hand with all the drinks on, and there was one left. So he gave it to me, and he's like, "You might as well have this last one because there's just one last one left. We've both got a drink," and I thought that was so sweet. So I took it to the bar. Now by this point in time, I'd had a few. And so this was my second. The first one, like when the barmaid had come over and said, "Oh, I've got you this chitty, and here's where you write down, the barman will write down what you've had and everything." And he went, "Oh, go and get us one now," because he was eating his dinner. So I went over and got us a drink. And I said, like, "I'll have a vodka and coke," because I always have vodka and coke when I'm out. It's just the easiest thing. I'm not one of these like changing my drinks sort of things. Cider in home, or Southern Comfort, or whatever I want in home. Outdoors, vodka and coke, because you can't trust red wine always. So I'm like, vodka and coke. She's like, "Do you want a double or a single?" And I went, "Oh, a single. Oh, I don't want to be too rude." Right? Bearing in mind, like we know it'll have been pence for the thing, but it looked a bit piss takey. Didn't want to show Tom up by having like fucking getting a double, cheeky bastard. Do you know what I mean? But I got this one one last one, and I was pissed. And the barman said, "Do you want a double?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah." Very embarrassed. But by this point, I was pissed. So, right. Which is why I ended up just sitting there going, his fucking teeth. Fucker for a speech impediment. Anyways, so came home, booked me Uber, got in the taxi. Lovely man, will not name him for fear of repercussions because he, good. He could get beheaded for all I know. There's a huge thing of chopping people's heads off, isn't it? British monarchy, Islam in general. You can see why the king likes them, can't you? Also because it just makes a mockery of Christianity, and just goes because he is the head of the British church, and he's also the head of British Freemasonry, and we know which one comes first. Well, we should do. We really fucking should by now. But people don't talk about it, so how would you know? So anyways, I get in this taxi, sitting there chatting away. And I asked him if he was a Muslim, and he said, yes, he is. And I hotched forward in my chair. Oh, can I ask you some questions? If I'd have gone uptown, and I had actually had this thought when I was on the bus going up to town, I was like, imagine if I had an Uber, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't ask anything. I bet you would when I was drunk. This is exactly what happened. And the guy knows where I live now, so if I've overstepped the mark, fatwa. If my shed catches fire. I don't have a shed, but I do have a rosemary bush, and if they set fire to that, it'd look biblical, wouldn't it? That'd be really a nice touch. So I asked him, I said, like, because you know, I say these things. I just want to get the proof from an actual Muslim. So is it right that in Sharia law, little girls can be raped anally up to and vaginally after the age of 8? That women only have the intelligence of men. I went in there. I asked the questions that everybody wants to know. So, under Sharia law, little girls can be raped, and little boys can be raped until they have a beard, and then it's gay. I didn't actually hit him with that one. And literally, he didn't answer any of them. He just giggled in a, you got me, kiddo, kind of way. It was a lovely chat. We had a lovely conversation. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, like I'm not dissing Muslims, I'm dissing Islam. But you've got to remember that Muslims are reminded 5 times a day that people who ain't Muslims are lesser beings, or the worst of animals, worst of creatures, sorry. Do you know what I mean? You have to remember that even good Muslims, it's like my friend who was taharushed, not in the gang rape sense of the word, just in the harassment sense of the word, and for a religion to have a specific word for harassment that goes up to gang rape, kind of like, you know, it should tell you, perhaps there's a little bit something dodgy there. But she, just because she wanted a parking space at the doctor's, was harassed by a circle of Muslims calling her a crackhead white, you know, because racism, white, crackhead, prostitute, whore, like literally, because she wanted because they were taking up all their spaces in the doctor's car park because there weren't any near the mosque. Like literally, my estate is going to go shit. But yeah, so this Muslim chap basically, you know, like, and we had a laugh about it because, you know, child rape. But you know what I mean? And then it wasn't an antagonistic question, but he did answer my questions. You know, he was just giggling about it. Oh, shit, been found out. You know, don't, but, you know, like because I watched a video earlier on and somebody's, the Israeli fan, it's on my Facebook wall if anybody's interested. You know how I said that there was an Israeli fan who went to the Maccabi Tel Aviv gig football match, even though they were told not to go. And I watched an interview with him today and whatever, and he was saying, like, you know, like, Muslims, like, there isn't a problem. It's just that small minority of extremists. And it's like, but the thing is that all of them are bred to defend the extremists. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I have a not very good Muslim friend, but I've known him for years, absolutely love the guy, only just recently found out that he was a Muslim because of the mosque, the pub being turned into a mosque. And he's like, oh, if you want to know anything about it, you know, you can ask me and everything. And so because I then started to learn about Islam, I asked him how you pronounce Takia. And he literally, to my face, pretended he'd never heard that word in his life. So, you know, like, even the good ones are prepared to lie for the faith. But they're reminded 5 times a day that's what they have to do. That's the only thing that's real in the world. It's such a shame. Such a shame. Like, literally, save the Muslims from Islam, I say. Because, and again, Islam isn't my enemy. Christianity isn't my enemy. Judaism isn't my enemy. It's the bastards that wrote all 3 of them. They are my enemy. My only enemy. No other enemy. And have you heard now, just to put it on a little positive note, vis-a-vis my enemy, you heard that 3i Atlas has made non-gravitational speed increase, which means, no, acceleration speed increase. Thesaurus lady. NGA. It's basically due to no fault of any planet that is passing by. It is sped up of its own volition. Only a tiny fraction, but that should not have happened. And that adds to the humongous amount of anomalies associated with 3i Atlas, and now, and I want to call it Borislav. If I've got it wrong, I'm sorry, but they've discovered the comet that's appeared out of nowhere in between us and 3i Atlas. My thing is, if it starts to get bigger, we'll know what it is. Just appeared out of nowhere in between us and that. So yeah, keep your eyes on the skies, guys. Oh, that's another thing. I'm a poet and I did not even know that I was one. It's another thing. Last night, when I was out stargazing with my son, because we do like to do this, and we have movers, flyers, and shooters, right? Shooters, shooting stars. Fairly self-explanatory. Flyers, planes and helicopters, basically. But if we were to have a blimp or a fucking microglider, that kind of thing, flyers. Then we have movers, and movers are satellites, right? Just a dot that moves really slowly through the night sky. Last night, my son and I, between us, counted 12 separate movers in the space of 2 hours. Like, literally. Then the rest of the night, I didn't see another one. I saw one when I was out having a fag on my own, and then about half an hour later, I went out and we went to watch the fireworks, and we, between us, then saw another 11. Like, and they were all going, because at first I thought it was Starlink. We saw 2 and they were roughly the same direction, and I'm like, oh, is that Starlink? Because they go over like in a little chain, you know, like. But no, these were going in different fucking directions. Like, what the fuck's that all about? So if you know about that, if you know why we saw 12 fucking satellites in the space of an hour, the second one was like within space of an hour. We saw 11 of them. Please let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments below. That's what the comments are there for. Please let's chit chat. Please let's make mates. Because we won't save the world if we don't come together. And I just saw, I'm going to leave it on this, she says, always say it, saw this video on Instagram. And I don't think, so leave this in the comments if you know, right? I shared a video from Instagram yesterday that is not on my Facebook wall. I shared one today, and it's a video of the Hulk and Loki, right? And it's like, over Loki, it's like Islam in the UK, and then the Hulk's like smacking it about, and it's like Christianity in the UK. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, don't go for Christianity. Adopt the beliefs and practices of Jesus all you want. Huge fan of Jesus. Do not subscribe to the fucking religion, please, because you take yourself away from God. Do you know what I mean? From the one true God that we're not allowed to know even fucking exists, mate. And that, so I shared that, but yesterday I shared one, and it was an imam. And he was explaining, so I need this fucking documented because it's kind of important. He was explaining why Islam has associated itself with the left, with Labour. And his answer to why Islam has locked itself off. So basically, when you get those right-wing thugs, right? I'm also a lefty, like, I shouldn't tie myself in, but because I don't want women and children raped on our streets, I am a far right thug for that. So I'll take the tar in. So basically, far right, and but they counter protest. They're with the Labour lot, you know, like they're with the transgenders and, you know, the outcasts, which is why I'm also Labour. Not Labour, left, but like, you know, the oddbods, the screwballs, the weirdos, right? Labour. And this imam said the reason that Islam has attached itself to the left, which is why the left always wave Palestinian flags, is because, drum roll please, they're stupid people and they can get away with it. Because they'll fucking believe anything, because they're marginalised and they just want their voice heard. And he's like, we don't fucking believe you. We don't believe you that a man can be a fucking woman. Like, literally, no. But you're stupid and you will let us fucking in. Do you know what I mean? So literally, that's why, in case you ever wondered why the Palestinian Gaza lot always march, counter protest, people wanting a safe streets in the UK, it's because they're stupid. It's because the left are stupid. That's why they've taken over Labour, because Labour are stupid people. This is what they believe at their highest level. Never think. Like, remember the word takia exists. Yeah. They will lie about anything. It does not matter. They are taking over the West. And we have forgotten about 9/11. And it is going nowhere fast, except for down the shitter. Anyways, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and all of that fandango, because I am heavily shadow banned, as you know. If you've made it to the end, I owe you a bevy. And for what poor old Tom had to listen to on Friday night, I owe him a bevy back, because I didn't buy him one. But I did get the chit chat. And literally, as I say, this is the kind of chit chat you get. So there you go. Thank you for being here. Please come back and never forget that I love you all. Bye.